remember sitting in sitting in her basement and playing with these little clothespin dolls when I was like 8 years old that she helped me make. And she would give me some of her old toys that she had, which was, y'all know Carolyn. She doesn't do things like that easily. She trusted me with them, and I would play with her old toys and little clothespin dolls. I remember going with her to the Cincinnati Zoo, Kings Island, and I remember watching the filming of A Girl Named Sooner in Indiana, where she and my dad were extras. My dad had a small bit part. That was my dad. I remember going to rehearsals and performances at the drama workshop. It was like a part of it. It became like a part of who I was. We went so many times. I remember developing film and photographs in her darkroom with her and Dad. I remember helping her grade papers when I got older. Once or twice, when I was here for the wintertime, she would take me to school with her to meet her students, her favorite students, and she even arranged for one of her favorite students to hang out with me after school and take me sledding. I'd never been sledding before. It was from Florida. It was so fun. When I was 12, she took me on a 6-week road trip from Cincinnati to the northwest Oregon and Washington. I think that's when she took me also on her part of it to Canada. So I've been to Canada when I was 12 years old in Florida. When I was 17, she took me on a 4-week road trip from Cincinnati through the southwest of California and Mexico. We ended up in Louisiana. 6 weeks with a 17-year-old. Or 4 weeks then, I think. So she did the 6 weeks the first time. She said, we better shorten it this time. She helped me get into the University of Cincinnati. She did it for me. She helped me get financial aid. And I lived with her during my first year of school. And I look back on it now, and I probably would not have gone to college if it weren't for her. She helped me navigate the stresses of college. She taught me how to balance my checkbook. She's so good at stuff like this. And she helped me get my first credit card. She taught me how to budget my money. She helped me figure out how to save money to buy my first 35mm camera. She taught me how to take pictures with it and taught me how to develop my film and photographs. She took me to ballets and symphonies, season tickets every year. This is just while I was in school, while I was in college up here. And all of these things are just the tip of the iceberg. It would take me all day to tell you all of the things, all of the ways that she impacted my life. Including that speech class, which seems to be working right now. But it wasn't until the last few years when she enlisted me to publish her memoirs on a website that I really got to know her. I learned about her life from beginning to end. Some things I knew, but didn't really know until then. For instance, I found out that she took me on all of those road trips because her father and mother had taken her. She was sharing her childhood with me. Learned what an incredible woman she was, so determined, super intelligent, caring, and generous. Which was a little hard to reconcile. She was tight at some things, generous. She was so generous with me. I was like, remembered all this stuff. She lived her life full throttle, squeezing every ounce out of her time here on earth. When I was transcribing stories after stories for the website, I would say, how in the world did you do so much? Wait a minute, you're telling me this story about that. Wasn't that the same time you were doing this, and this, and this, and this, and planning on a vacation? She was really, really incredible. I don't know where she got the energy. My life pales in comparison to Carolyn Ruth. But it is so much richer because of what she taught me and things that she shared with me. I am profoundly a different person because of what she gave me. And even been through this a whole lifetime of stuff. Apparently it takes me till I'm like 50, 60 years old before I grow up. And our relationship changed in those last few years. And I found out that she wasn't always pushing to get things done. When I opened up, she stopped and listened like no other friend I've ever had. Ever. No judgment. Not an ounce of judgment that you would think you'd get from a parental figure. Just an open heart and sage advice every time. Thank you, Carolyn. I'll miss you dearly. Walking around pieces in my heart.